welcome, and we're gonna do our Golden Globe best picks, best bets. We bring in Rita Cinema. Dr. M. Sage sticks with us after a beautiful Bridgerton review. Very exciting. All right, let's get into the Golden Globes. Are we ready to make some picks and bets?
We are. I believe we are.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's get started.
I'm not going to win very much money.
Well,
for me or anyone else.
That's okay.
I'm shooting from the hip.
Let's get started and start right off at the top. Best motion picture drama. We got Nomadland at minus 200, The Trial of the Chicago 7 plus 100, Mank at plus 700, Promising Young Woman at plus 850, and The Father at 2,000. Where are we going with our picks here?
Who do you want to?
Rita
You
Cinema,
need to tell us who you want to talk first.
Rita Cinema, go ahead and take over.
Please.
Okay. Actually, of all the categories, this was the hardest one for me to select because I actually think with all the publicity it's gotten, Nomadland will win. It's not necessarily my favorite, though.
That review is coming Monday. Be prepared. It might get canned.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said that review is coming Monday.
Oh,
it might get canned. Be prepared.
No, nah. That's the favorite this year. I feel pretty certain. I actually think The Trial of the Chicago 7 will probably win. Though I mean, I think it could be the one that would be the best bet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well,
I think The Trial of the Chicago 7 will actually win.
Well, I am not going with The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Oh.
If I was making a bet here, I'd probably just lean on Nomadland because it's getting all the press.
Yeah.
If I was making my own pick, I would probably choose Tenet or Judas and the Black Messiah, which didn't get nominated. If I had to choose from this list, Promising Young Woman was definitely my favorite of this group.
Well, there are several movies in here who did not make the list that probably should have.
Yes, definitely. All right, let's move on to Best Motion Picture Musical Comedy. We have Hamilton at plus 100, Borat Subsequent Movie Film plus 100, The Prom plus 350, Palm Springs plus 1,400, and Music at plus 2,200. Rita Cinema, where are you going with Best Motion Picture Musical Comedy?
Well, this is a real crappy category.
I'm taking Judas and the Black Messiah in this as well.
Well, for one thing, where is On the Rocks? That's my choice to be perfect. I would assume it would fall into this category. Now, Hamilton is great, but it just doesn't seem fair to include a musical that's been filmed for, it's just not quite right. Anyway, I'll tell you that of the ones here, I don't know if I have a favorite. Probably Hamilton. I mean, it's just, you can't argue with the fact that it's great. I kind of think Borat will probably win, though. That's what I would put my money on, Borat.
Going with Borat.
Although I have to tell you, I hadn't watched it until last night. And I was, first of all, it is hilarious, but I was horrified. I sure wouldn't have wanted to be any of those people that they tricked into being in that thing. How awful. Anyway, that's where I'm going.
Dr. Sage, what do you have for Best Musical Motion Picture?
I agree. I think it will be Borat too. I think Hamilton is better, but because there was so much scandal with Hamilton not addressing slavery, I don't think they will choose.
Yes, and suddenly the darling of the theater turned into not such a darling, didn't it? Yeah.
Well, all I know is Disney gets banned for talking about slavery and the South song. So,
that's totally different. Let's not even go there.
I don't quite know how it works. Either you ignore it and you get in trouble, or you promote it with a song and you get in trouble.
I think music should actually be a plus 1,000,000 because there's no way that movie should win an award.
I haven't seen it. I've just read about it, and I haven't seen Palm Springs too. That's what I was going to add.
I haven't seen Palm Springs.
It's
either.
kind of unfair that
You will
I've only
be okay
watched
without
3 of
seeing
these.
Palm Springs.
I think that because Sacha Baron Cohen put his life on the line to film Borat, that it will win.
I feel like the Golden Globes always caters to that sort of audience.
I don't think it does. And I'm
All
going
right.
to lean actually here on one that's possibly a terrible musical. But my guess is Netflix has paid off a handful of people. We're going with The Prom at plus 350 here. I think
I'm
that's
going
a
to tell
very
you, it's my
solid
dark
bet.
horse. It's my dark horse.
Oh no.
It's
I hope
terrible,
not.
but it is.
In this category where Hamilton, Borat, Palm Springs, and music are your choices, The Prom might actually be the winner out of this. Borat was much more entertaining, but I'm not sure they're delving into those depths of lewd comedy to hand it award, despite its brilliance.
It is the Golden Globes.
I want to add that I think it's unfortunate that the animated films can't be added here because, to tell you the truth, Soul was the best. It would have.
Well, they have their own category.
Yes, I know,
We
but
aren't discussing them.
I know it's just too bad because it beats all of these. As
Upward
does
probably
On the
beats all of
Rocks.
them as well. So,
On the Rocks and Soul beat all of these. So anyway,
all right. We went through the films and now we're going to go to the thespians on the screen. Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, Chadwick Boseman, minus 900, Anthony Hopkins, plus 500, Gary Oldman, plus 1,000, Riz Ahmed, plus 1,000, and Tahir Rami. Where are we going?
why don't you go to Dr. Sage first since I gone
I was
first?
going to go to her for TV first.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
You're the
okay.
film expert here.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. This was a tough choice for me, mainly because I haven't seen 3 of the 5 actors. I have read about it, and I know Anthony Hopkins is getting a great deal of coverage in terms of how good he is in The Father, but I can't compare it to anything. I have a feeling he's probably the one who should win. I do think Chadwick Boseman will win because, let's face it, I hate to say it, but if you die and people love you and you're young, he was very good. I do not want to take away from his performance. It was good, but I think he'll win, because he will. Because, it's hard not to choose him.
It's
Let's
a
put it
fun
that way.
story for Entertainment Tonight to report on.
Well, it's a sad story, but it, gets more attention.
Yeah, well,
I honestly, though, I have to say, I'm sorry he didn't get nominated for The Five Bloods because I would have chosen him for that over Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I agree. That was a much better film, but apparently we no longer like Spike Lee. So
Spike Lee is
Yeah.
not going to get any attention. So, okay.
all right.
Spike Lee isn't sending gifts to all of the people in the Hollywood foreign press.
Well, good for him because apparently this is there's been more than one lawsuit. over this.
Yes, if anyone from the Hollywood foreign press is listening, Rita Cinema and I would be happy to join you. Thank
Apparently,
you.
it's pretty hard to get in.
Very
Yes,
secretive.
one need to be male and white and old.
Apparently, old.
Oh,
Old,
you also couldn't get in if you are a socialite, an influencer. There are some of those in there.
Well,
we'll keep
That's
that
us.
as hopefully this show takes off enough and we can socially influence the Golden Globes in a couple of years. All
Let's
right,
hope
M.
so.
Sage, where are you going with Best Motion Picture Drama Actor?
So far, Rita Cinema and I are on the same track. I think Chadwick Boseman will get it too. And I think for the same reason. I mean, I think that it's going to be hard to ignore him.
Well, see, I'm going with the underdog, Anthony Hopkins at plus 500 here. English, old, and white. That takes
now
the day.
that wins Academy Awards. I'm not sure. About
Oh, it wins Golden Globes too.
Well, I have read a lot of good things about Anthony
Yeah.
Hopkins in the role, so it wouldn't be a tragedy if he won, I think.
We would be more likely that Chadwick would have gotten it for Black Panther than he would for Ma Rainey's. My guess is the Hollywood Foreign Press hasn't even seen Ma Rainey's. So
I think they probably have, and they've probably been on a junket to the top places, you know, where Ma Rainey would have sung in Chicago and stayed at the finest hotels there.
all right, let's move on to Best Actor, Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. We got Sacha Baron Cohen, the favorite, at -300. Lin-Manuel Miranda at +250. Dev Patel at +700. Andy Samberg at +1,000. And James Gordon pulling up the rear at +1,500. Is anyone going to go for the long shot in James Corden to win this award? Rita Cinema, where are you going?
If Corden wins, we know somebody's been bought off. Because good grief, how did he even get a nomination? That's disgusting. Anyway, well, I'll have to tell you, I just loved Dev Patel in The Personal History of David Copperfield. I thought he was wonderful in it, and he's one of my favorite actors anyway. So he would be my fave. But to be honest, if I were going to put money on it, it would probably be Sacha Baron Cohen again, with an outside chance for Miranda. Although I think Lin-Manuel Miranda may have run his course on Hamilton. I don't know. So I'd say it's probably going to be Cohen who wins.
Dr. M. Sage?
I agree. I would like to see Lin-Manuel Miranda win it, actually. I really enjoyed watching Hamilton. I enjoyed all of it. But it's kind of old now. I mean,
Yeah, that's why I say I think it's run its course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think it's going to be Sacha Baron Cohen.
I think Sasha has a chance, but I like Dev Patel for this one. I'm going with another underdog here. He also is English, and this is the kind of quirky, weird movie that might get a little bit more press. I don't think they'd hand it to Lin-Manuel Miranda, and the other two on the bottom here, Samberg and Corden, pretty much has no chance. I do think there's a decent Dev Patel chance to sneak in and maybe steal this award, mostly because it's a really, really bad category. All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing Dev Patel win that award, actually.
He's my favorite of the
He's
group.
the only one
mean,
I thought put in a actual good movie performance.
But I did not see Andy Samberg in Palm. I have not watched Palm Spring. I feel like
I
I
haven't
need
either.
to.
You don't
Yeah.
need to.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the ladies, and we're going Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. We got Viola Davis +180, Frances McDormand +400, Carey Milligan -300, Vanessa Kirby +1,600, and Andrea Day. All right, where are we going here?
Well, I'll tell you, this is a really tough one for me because I think all of these are #1 top-notch actresses, and they did a great job in the roles that they played in these movies. I'll be honest, my favorite is Carey Mulligan. I really thought she was super in Promising Young Woman. However, I do believe Frances McDormand will win. That's who I'd put my money on. And I will say that I think Frances McDormand is I think she's the greatest actress of our time. I know everybody thinks it's Meryl Streep, but I think it's Frances McDormand.
Mhm.
And when you watch her in this role, it is just a stunning performance because there are a lot of non-actors in this movie. It's almost like watching a documentary. And the thing is, you start feeling like she is too. The character Fern that she plays, you don't feel like you're watching an actress playing a role. McDormand is just so natural and human, and she's very good in this. I hate to see, I'll tell you something too. I love Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman.
Speaking
I thought
of
that was
movies
one
the
of-
Hollywood Foreign Press did not watch, I can pretty much.
No, they probably did not. And the beginning of the movie is a little tough to get through when she's in childbirth and everything. But the rest of the film, you really emotionally, it's just a very stirring piece. But Frances McDormand, she'll win. She'd be better put your money on her.
Dr. M. Sage.
I don't think Frances McDormand will win
Oh,
because I think she's won too much in the past. I think actually Carey Mulligan is going to win.
Well, that would be interesting. That wouldn't disappoint me. Wouldn't disappoint me at all.
And I agree with you. I think Frances McDormand is one of the greatest actresses. She's fantastic. She actually said that this role in this movie is closest to her real life character, which is why she seems so real.
Yeah, it was astounding.
Well, I'm going to ride Carey Mulligan here because I thought she was just great in Promising Young Woman. Really, really liked that one. I did think Frances McDormand was really good. And actually, of the categories here, this one actually has the most depth of actually solid films and good acting in it. So really liked pretty much everyone in every role. I have not managed to do Pieces of a Woman yet. And I am very excited to watch the United States versus Billie Holiday, but that one hasn't come out yet.
No, I think it's out now. I think it just now came out.
Did
I
it
think
just
it
come
just
out?
came out.
Yeah.
All right. But Carey Mulligan is going to be my choice here. And she was my favorite in the group too. So I think Carey really handed that role and I like her here. All right, let's move on to Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. We have Marie Baklava minus 500, Michelle Pfeiffer plus 350, Anya Taylor-Joy plus 1,000, Rosamund Pike plus 1,400, and Kate Hudson plus 2,000. Interesting category. Where are we going, Rita Cinema?
Well, just like the men's actors category in comedy and musical. However, I think there are some good performances here. This one's tough for me too, because my favorite by far was Anya Taylor-Joy in Emma, which, by the way, was the last movie I saw in a movie theater before COVID hit. So I have fond memories of that afternoon. Anyway, she's probably my favorite in this category, but I think probably Bakalova will win. I do think Rosamund Pike is great in this role in I Care a Lot. However, you hate her so much that there is no way in the world she's ever going to win that award. So I think it will be Bakalova, and she's gotten a lot of press. Everybody, and she was just, nonstop laughing at her. She was great,
She's amazing.
Yes.
I believe she'll win too.
You're going with Maria Baklava. I don't know if they will give Borat the love that it deserves. I'm excited to see.
It deserves love.
Love isn't quite the word I would use, but I did really enjoy watching the cringiness of that movie.
Oh.
I do like Michelle Pfeiffer here in The French Exit. I think she has a little bit of we all love Michelle Pfeiffer, so there might be a little sneakiness here.
You're right.
I also don't think Anya Taylor-Joy would be a bad bet. It would be sort of a crowning night for her here.
I think she was great, but I don't think she'll win.
No, I don't think she'll win.
I don't know
Not
if
this
she'll
category.
win, but I think it could be a crowning night for her, and they could just throw Golden Globes at her left and right here, and it would make one hell of a story. But so I'm going to lean a little bit here, Michelle Pfeiffer, just on we've loved you for 40 years, so we're going to throw a Golden Globe at you.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go to Best Director, Motion Picture. We got Chloe Zhao, minus 600, David Fincher, Aaron Sorkin, Regina King, and Emerald Fennell. Where are we going, Rita Cinema, here?
All right. We got 3 women. It's, like history making, and 2 men. And guess what? One of the men will win.
No.
Here's what I think. I think Chloe's Zhao, I'm not sure how you say her name. It is Asian. But I think hands down, she is the most deserving, because this Nomadland is just a pretty amazing movie in terms of the way it's put together. Now, it's a slow-paced movie and people probably won't like some of it, but it's pretty amazing the direction, I think she deserves this award. But I don't know. I kind of feel like they'll give it to Fincher or Sorkin. And I'd probably put my money on Sorkin. Except that sometimes people don't like him politically. It depends. This is one of the categories where it depends on who's been paid off.
I don't think Sorkin will win.
Okay.
I think that they will say he's too television. And so I think that will immediately eliminate him.
Some parties might agree with that.
Oh, anybody on this podcast, maybe?
Maybe so. We've had enough of the walk and talk.
I think it's between No Man Land and Mank, and I think No Man Land will get it.
I think they might throw it to Nomadland, but I would not be shocked at all if they hand this to Fincher, despite Mank possibly being completely terrible and maybe the worst Fincher movie I have seen. But a feeling hits me that they might go Fincher here. But in this category, I think probably Nomadland deserves it more than anything.
Well, if the Golden Globes doesn't pick one of these women, I think the Oscars will. And I think Chloe Zhao will win the Oscar. Of course, they haven't even handed out the nominations yet. I'm pretty sure
she won't get nominated.
I'm pretty sure she's a sure bet there. But okay, I get ahead of us. We're picking Golden Globes now. So anyway.
All right, we'll move on to the supporting category. Best Supporting Actor, Motion Picture Drama. Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, Sacha Baron Cohen, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Leslie Odom Jr., plus 260, Jared Leto, plus 1,800, Bill Murray, plus 1,000. Anyone on the Bill Murray train on the rocks here for Best Supporting Motion Picture Drama?
Bill Murray
I don't think enough people saw it.
No, I saw it. On the Rocks was wonderful, and Bill Murray was great, but he won't win.
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. Go ahead, Rita Cinema. Who's going to win?
All right. Well, I think this one's going to be pretty close too, and this is a pretty hard choice. I think unless they're absolutely crazy, this is another one where I don't know who's paid off whom and whether the Golden Globes will do what the right thing or the popular thing, but they really probably ought to give it to Daniel Kaluuya because he is by far the best. Now, I say that, and yet I think it could be close between him and Leslie Odom Jr., who was also very good in One Night in Miami. And in terms of my favorite, it would probably be Daniel Kaluuya, but I think it could be close between him and Odom. But to tell you the truth, I'll be disappointed because probably Cohen will win. And I'll tell you that the thing is, while I picked Borat as, a winning film, I picked it. I don't necessarily believe that, but I didn't, in the Trial of the Chicago 7, I knew he'd get the most attention, but I didn't think he was the best one in the film. I thought there were other actors in the film who were not nominated, who, were every bit as good or better than Cohen, but we'll see. So did I make a pick? Sorry, Kaluuya.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
You took all 5 of them. So.
Yes.
Except Leto. You didn't pick Jared Leto.
No,
Leto.
Please don't give him. This is another one that please don't give him.
He had a beer belly and a limp.
He's been made fun of, but honestly, in that film, The Little Things, he was the only one that showed any kind of, creativity and life into his character, even if it was sort of bad.
Yes, I'm glad he drank Budweiser's for a week and walked on set with a limp. That was
I gotta let
very
the dog
impressive.
out. Over to Dr. Sage.
Dr. Sage,
I think that Kaluuya is going to win that category.
you're going with Kaluuya.
Yeah,
I think
I am.
he might get screwed over here, especially
you do.
especially since they did not decide to nominate this movie for anything else, which tells me that they did not like it for some reason.
Which I don't understand at all.
But I
it was
do
a
think the
good
sneaky
film.
one here is Sacha Baron Cohen. I think they'll punish him
Think
for
so?
Borat, but then they'll give him the award for the Trial of the Chicago 7, which honestly, he was better as Borat than he was in the Trial of the Chicago 7. But I think they might hand him the award here for Best Supporting Actor in Trial of the Chicago 7. since he's nominated in like 5 different categories.
That's true. That's very interesting. You could be right, I think, but I hope you're wrong.
And also, I don't put it past anyone to put Jared Leto in there because for some reason they just assume his performance was good because he acted weird.
Yes, that's true.
All right, one more for the movies. Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. We got Amanda Seyfried, minus 115, Glenn Close, plus 330, Helena Zingel, plus 1100, Olivia Colman, plus 225, and Jodie Foster, plus 1,000. A lot of big names in this category. I don't know about performances overall. Where are we going, Rita Cinema?
Well, I have to admit right off the top, the 3 of these actresses I've not even seen in their roles. I have read about them. So it's kind of hard. I have read that Olivia Colman was quite good in The Father, both she and Anthony Hopkins, and I do think she's a very good actress too. But hands down, both my favorite, and I think the winner will be Amanda Seyfried. She was, this is the best, really, in an actress that I don't even know if we take very seriously. She came through in this film. She was the best part of Mank.
She was the only good part of Mank.
Well, the cinematography was good.
All right. Dr. M. Sage, where are you going in Best Supporting Actress?
I think that they are going to give it to Glenn Close.
Oh, she puts on the dirty makeup and she gets an award.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. That happens all the time.
Yeah. That would not surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I don't know. I could see it, but I'm going to ride with Amanda Seyfried here at minus 115. They'll have to throw Mank some love. And if there was any redeeming quality about this film, it was her performance. So I think she'll hit it. I think Olivia Colman might have a slight bit of an underdog chance at plus 225 here. But I just don't know how The Father's going to play amongst that crowd. But I do think Olivia Colman might be a little bit of a sleeper here.
I want to throw out that I think it's a shame that Ellen Burstyn in Pieces of a Woman was not nominated in this category. She was very good, very good. And I also thought that in Hillbilly Elegy that Amy Adams was better than Glenn Close in a film that, was kind of not a great film and got some pretty bad reviews. I thought Amy Adams was actually better.
I'm always pro Amy Adams. All right, we're going to go from the big screen to the small screen, and we're going to start out with Best TV Series Comedy, Schitt's Creek at minus 250, Ted Lasso at plus 150, The Great at plus 1,500, The Flight Attendant at plus 1,500, and Emily in Paris at plus 1,200. Dr. M. Sage, where are you going with Best Comedy?
The only funny show on the list is actually Schitt's Creek.
No, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is funny.
Ted Lasso is funny. Ted Lasso is good. The Great is a good show too. I just don't think many people have watched it.
I watched it. It was good, but not great.
It was good, but it's not. It's not always comedy. I mean,
no, it isn't.
So I think Schitt's Creek, even though it won a ton of awards before, I think it will also win this award. I mean, I do think it is the best show on the list. I don't understand how The Flight Attendant is a comedy.
Well,
I don't either.
I'm viewing it differently now. If we look at it as a comedy, I think it becomes a better show.
Well, it becomes a joke.
Well, that's pretty much what the show was.
No, that show was not a comedy. I think somebody got mixed up here.
I think because Kaylee Cuoco is in it, they're calling it a comedy, and it's not a comedy.
Which goes to show you that some of these people making the nominations may not have watched these shows.
I still think they watched it.
Okay,
Well,
I want to ask, why the heck wasn't, where is like a show like Young Sheldon, which I think is one of the funniest shows on TV. Now, granted, it's a fairly simple show, but it's as funny as most of the ones on this list. I love the show Young Sheldon.
That would be network TV. It no longer exists.
Network TV
Yeah.
isn't putting the money into getting the nominations like
Well,
Netflix
that's
and
exactly what I
Hulu
figured.
are.
It's a bias now. They're,
Yeah.
they don't, but it's too bad because that's a pretty darn good show.
It is.
Actually. Have I given my picture? Is it my
No.
turn? Sorry.
Yes,
have
it's
not.
your turn.
All right. I lost track. I'm sorry. I got off there because I also want to know where Better Call Saul is, which is the absolute best comedy other than Schitt's Creek, maybe. I think Better Call Saul is a super show. And I thought, did they not have anything in 2020? I think they had a season. Bob Odenkirk is nominated. How come
Yes.
Better Call Saul is not in this list? And also, a show that I have learned to love on Apple TV Plus is Dickinson, which is a wonderful, creative, quirky show. And it's not in this either. So I'm looking for something other than the flight attendant and Emily in Paris. Although I know everybody was bought off on the Emily in Paris thing.
Yes, they were.
We all know that. Okay, that's just my little lecture there. My favorite in
Cinema
this
is
group,
very opinionated.
my favorite in this group is Ted Lasso. It was honestly, I expected nothing from that show, and I loved it. And I can't wait for the next season. I thought
Well,
it
that's
was
because you sit around and I make you
delightful.
watch soccer all the time. So you
no,
got some of the
it was
jokes.
delightful. It had wonderful characters in it, and yet, it wasn't silly comedy. You think that's what it's going to be, and instead, there's some feeling to it and thought to it, and everything. I liked it a lot, but I think Schitt's Creek will win.
Yeah, I'm leaning Schitt's Creek, but people might be tired of it. It's had its peak, and now we all recognize that it's a good show now after it was on the air for about 5 years and nobody even knew what it was. And then all of a sudden it turned into everybody's favorite comedy. But I'm going to ride Ted Lasso here too. I think it's a little bit of a plucky underdog. I think it's funny and light, and it's actually pretty creative. And so I'm riding Ted Lasso plus 150 here. The flight attendant in Emily in Paris, I don't think have any chance. But this category probably is a little crazy. So if you want to throw $5 on those bottom three.
Well, heck, I'm ready to give it to young Sheldon. So.
That it wasn't even nominated.
Nope.
I think Ted Lasso maybe is a little too new to win.
Well, that's why it probably needs another year or two, and then it will work its way into popularity.
I think the Golden Globes didn't give their love to Schitt's Creek yet, so now they will have to.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to the drama side. Best TV series drama. The Crown minus 800, Ozark plus 450, The Mandalorian plus 750, Ratcheted plus 1200, and Lovecraft Country plus 1800. Dr. M. Sage, where are you going in the drama category?
Well, in the drama category, first off, I have to admit, I did not see Lovecraft Country. And Ozark has never been one of my favorite shows. I know a lot of people love that show. I've just never been able to get into it. I don't like it. I think it will go to The Crown because it always goes to The Crown. Ratchet, ooh, that show is weird, wicked. And I don't think they'll give it to The Mandalorian. So I think that just by default, it will go to The Crown.
Rita Cinema, where are you going for the drama?
Well, I haven't watched Ratchet or Lovecraft County. So among the other three, my favorite is The Mandalorian, but I don't think it will win. I too think The Crown will win. It's the popular choice.
They have no choice but to give it to The Crown, despite it not being good for 4 years. But
last year was the only year I didn't like.
Show.
All right, The Crown is wonderful and amazing.
I like
We all love the Queen.
I didn't like last season though.
I didn't. I didn't think it was as good.
I think Ozark next year might have a sneaky chance because I believe it's going to be its last season coming up. So they'll want to tribute it somehow. I don't know if The Mandalorian is old enough yet. It might need another year or two, and then they'll want to throw it something. My actually favorite of these shows was Lovecraft Country. I did watch it. I really enjoyed it. I'm a little sad the actress didn't get nominated in the drama category for that.
Right.
But I noticed there were a lot of white people nominated in that category. So
Yeah.
Lovecraft County might not have made its way to there. But I don't think you have any choice but to bet on the Crown here. I'm not even sure they are allowed to vote for anything else. So the Crown's probably the winner.
How come Mrs. America didn't get nominated here? I thought that was a.
I'm curious about that too.
I thought that was a very good show. And I'll tell you another show that didn't get any attention here is the show Defending Jacob, which was a very good drama. And Chris Evans was excellent in it. Anyway, where is it?
They put Miss America into the miniseries category instead of the drama.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
It's not a renewable.
That's right. I forgot.
All right.
Okay. Well, that answers my question because it's a good show.
All right. Speaking of miniseries category, we're going to Best Actor in a Miniseries or TV Movie. We have Ethan Hawke plus 100, Hugh Grant plus 150, Mark Ruffalo plus 250, Bryan Cranston plus 850, and Jeff Daniels plus 1,000. Pretty deep category here. A lot of big names. Performance-wise, I'm a little sketchy on them, but where are we going, Dr. M. Sage?
I hate to do this, but I think Hugh Grant is going to win it. It will disappoint me, but I really have this bad feeling.
Well, he was very good at staring blankly into the camera, so.
That's all I can say. No, it's not. Rita Cinema, what do you think?
Where are we going for miniseries TV movie?
Well, I feel bad because I haven't seen Ethan Hawke, and I know he's a good actor, but I have not seen this, and I haven't even read anything about it, so I don't know where to stand on that one. He's please don't give it to Hugh Grant, but you're probably right. He'll win it. To be honest, I think, and I haven't seen the other two. This category, I really haven't seen most of these. I know Bryan Cranston is a good actor, and so is Jeff Daniels, but I haven't seen either one of them in these roles. But I have
seen. You can pass on the Comey rule.
I have seen, I know this much is true. And I thought he was by far my favorite. Mark Ruffalo was absolutely, really, I think it's the best. He's a good actor, and this is the best I've ever seen him. However,
he played the Hulk.
Yes, I know. But this role was not the Hulk. This role was much more demanding in terms of his acting skills.
He has to turn green in the Hulk.
No, somebody turns him green. He just has to stand still for all the makeup. Anyway, the show, however, I know this much is true, was a really depressing downer show. I mean, there's just not a whole lot you can come away from it feeling good about other than his performance. He really, truly deserves it, but probably Hugh Grant will win it.
Well, I'm on the same. I don't think Ethan Hawke will actually win this. I'm thinking Hugh Grant probably takes this. Disturbingly enough, for some reason, some people like this show. I don't know if they were drinking or possibly on acid while watching it. But anyway, I do like Mark Ruffalo here. I think there's a sneaky chance that Ruffalo might sneak in there because I do think the performance was really good. And I had just watched Your Honor, and I really, really liked that. Bryan Cranston's really, really good in Your Honor. I think it might have come out a little too late, so I don't know if he would. But if I had a choice, I'd probably choose between Ruffalo or Cranston here. But I think it's Hugh Grant's award.
Sadly.
All right. Best Actor, TV Series, Drama. Matthew Rhys, Perry Mason, Jason Bateman, Ozark, Joss O'Connor, The Crown, Al Pacino, Hunters, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul. Where are we going here, Dr. M. Sage?
I think this is a really tough category. Perry Mason, I have to admit, I did not watch. It was way off my radar screen.
You didn't miss anything.
Okay, that's good to know. I think this is going to come down to a race between two. Jason Bateman, because he hasn't won before, and we all know it's going into its last season, Ozark, and Bob Odenkirk, because he is amazing. I'm going to go for the long shot here, and I'm going to go with Odenkirk.
Oh, the long shot at Odenkirk. Dr. M. Sage trying to go to the bank with a long shot winner at Best TV Actor Drama Series. Rita Cinema, where are you going?
You know
here?
my choice. I love Bob Odenkirk.
He's wonderful.
Not only that, he's an SIU alum. So he and I are both graduates of SIU, and he's a anyway. No.
Just a moment of clarification for those of you not familiar with Southern Illinois. SIU is Southern Illinois University. Thank you.
The Carbondale one, not the Edwardsville one.
This is the Carbondale one. And actually they have a very good communications department. So they do graduate a fair number of people who go into TV and, communications work and radio and that kind of thing. So,
they should probably send us some bumper stickers for this love.
to be honest, I thought Perry Mason was overhyped, and so was Matthew Rise, but I have a feeling he will win it. I wish I could go the long shot.
Mhm.
If I had an extra $100, I'd win a lot of money.
I think you need more than 100 to pay them off to vote Bob Odenkirk.
I think Rise will win, but I think Odenkirk is by far the best in this category. And I don't even know how Al Pacino and Josh O'Connor, they were okay, but I saw both of those. It just didn't stand out. And I do like Jason Bateman in Ozark, but I don't think he'll win either.
Yeah, I think it's a two-man race between Reyes and Bateman. The Perry Mason was actually really bad. So they didn't even nominate it for drama. So I don't know how he's a best actor nominee. And then they didn't even put it in the drama category. But I will say you like Odenkirk as a long shot. And I like the Career Achievement Award long shot here in Al Pacino and Hunters at plus 900.
Oh,
he way overacted in that thing. He was not that good.
Yeah.
That's his skill set now, the overacting. And I think a Career Achievement Golden Globe thrown to him for a terrible TV show that
so far you've picked, let's see, Glenn Close, Anthony Hopkins, and now Al Pacino.
Yeah, you could, when they're all holding their Golden Globes.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
But Bateman, I would think I probably like the most here, but I have a weird feeling we're going Career Achievement, and for some reason Al Pacino might somehow draw it, though that TV show is beyond terrible. All right, we're moving to Best Actor, TV Series, Musical, or Comedy. We have Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek, Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, Rami Youssef for Rami, Don Cheadle for Black Monday, and Nicholas Hoult for The Great Dr. M. Sage. Where are we going, musical comedy?
I think you have to go with Eugene Levy. I just think that they're going to give it to him because they haven't given it to him yet, and it's going to be the last time that they get a chance to honor Schitt's Creek, and I think they will. I do think Nicholas Hoult is a dark horse. He's very funny in The Great.
He is very good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be an About a Boy reunion. So
that's right.
Yes.
If Hugh Grant wins.
Exactly. That's really kind
that's
of
another oldie, but
yeah.
Okay.
Rita Cinema, who do you think's going to win?
All right. I think you're right. Eugene Levy will win. To be perfectly honest, I think, well, first of all, I'd like to put in a plug for Ian Armitage.
You cannot keep choosing people who are not nominated.
Who I think is one of the greatest actors on TV in comedy. He may be 12 years old, but let's face it, he's good.
Next year, we will start our own know-it-all awards show.
Okay. But to tell you the truth, I do think that my favorites were Sudeikis in Ted Lasso, and I really like Rami Youssef in Rami. And to tell you the truth, it's borderline comedy too. It has a very serious plot to it as well. So I guess my outside, I think they'll give it to I think Eugene Levy is probably going to win it, but Sudeikis would be my, maybe if I wanted to pick an outside choice, that would be him.
Yeah, I sort of think Sudeikis, he's not a long shot here. He's just even money, but I think if they're going to honor Ted Lasso, it'd be more likely they honor it here in the best actor category than they would the actual show. They'd probably honor Schitt's Creek. And, Eugene Levy's great in Schitt's Creek, but it's more an ensemble cast.
It really is.
Where Ted Lasso and Sudeikis really sort of carried that show really, really well. So I'm going to lean Jason Sudeikis here. All right.
Could happen.
On to the ladies. Best Actress TV Series Drama. Olivia Colman, The Crown. Emma Corrin, The Crown. Laura Linney, Ozark. Sarah Paulson, Ratcheted. Jodie Comer, Killing Eve. Where are we going here?
Well, I think Olivia Colman will probably win, but I think that Laura Linney is going to be a close call on that one.
Rita Cinema.
Okay, this one's tough because all these actresses are good. To be honest, I absolutely love Jodie Comer, and I think she's been overlooked. I think she,
Definitely.
In Killing Eve, she is just dynamite in that role. She scares the hell out of me.
Yes, she's amazing.
I would not want to be in the same room with her. Anyway, she won't win it though. That would be way outside chance. I don't know. I want to say Olivia Colman, but here's where I think they might be tired of giving her awards, and they might they might just sneak up and give it to Emma Corrin, for who I
hope not.
I hope not either. But I've read a lot of positive stuff of that the Golden Globes really like her, so I think she might be the outside chance of winning.
Yeah.
I she can tilt her head demurely.
Oh gosh, and look miserable. Anyway, they should not pick Corrin over Coleman. Olivia Colman is way better, way better the actress, but I think that could.
Well, I think your best bet is probably to take one of the Crowns or both the Crown ladies. But I think Sarah Paulson has a bit of a chance here. She was really, really good in Ratcheted. I thought her performance was really, really dark and amazing. It was right in her sort of skill set, being dark and weird. And the show was not my favorite. I thought it was okay, but I really thought Sarah Paulson really played Nurse Ratched really, really well in that show. So there might be.
Can I throw out one thing though? Who's missing here? You know who's missing here in this category?
Who's missing?
Sorry, this is what I worked on. Ray Seahorn, who was in A Better Call Saul. She never gets nominated, and she is very deserving. She is super in that show. So I'm sorry Ray Seahorn didn't make it.
Write-in ballot. If you have money
Hollywood
to burn.
Foreign Press. Notice we're ready and able to join.
All right, we're going to move to Best Actress in a TV Series, Musical, or Comedy. Catherine O'Hare, Schitt's Creek, Kelly Cuoco, Flight Attendant, Jane Levy, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, Elle Fanning, The Great, and Lily Collins, Emily in Paris. I only see one person possible to winning this award, but Dr. M. Sage, do you have someone in mind here?
I only see one person who could possibly win this award, and that would be Catherine O'Hara.
Rita Cinema, where are you going here?
Well, I think Catherine O'Hara will probably win. However, I think if the Golden Globes shows their true personality, they'll probably pick Kaylee Cuoco.
Really?
I think they will. Just because she's such a favorite from the Big Bang, Theory. I don't know.
think she ever won for the Big Bang Theory.
She never got nominated.
I don't know. I just think
that was the big thing. She was never nominated. This was her first nomination.
So they're going to give it to her now, and she doesn't deserve it. I do think Catherine, I think Catherine O'Hara is more likely. I mean, you know, if you want to pick a favorite, she's more, but to be perfectly honest, my favorite is Elle Fanning, who I thought was wonderful in The Great. I would give her the
She is
award,
fantastic.
but I wouldn't put my
I would
money
give it
on
to
her.
Elle Fanning.
I would give it to her. And I'll tell you that Jane Levy, who probably doesn't get a whole lot of attention, I haven't seen, I've only seen a few of the episodes of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, but she's a wonderful little actress too, and does
She is.
a
Yeah, that's
fine
a solid
job.
one.
She's delightful, actually.
I think that one's too new to gain any
Yeah,
traction
she
yet.
won't get it. And probably Elle Fanning won't either, but
No.
you know,
But I'm on the same
Lily
wavelength.
Collins paid a lot of money
oh,
to get nominated. So let's hope that doesn't play into things.
I'm resigning from ever doing this show again if Lily Collins wins.
Well, I'm on the same wavelength that you. The press has been way too hyped up about Kelly Cuoco getting nominated and being her first nomination. How she doesn't get nominated for The Big Bang Theory, but somehow manages a nomination for this, I don't know. But I think at $250, that's a very, very good price. And I just think the powers are leaning that way for Kelly Cuoco to take this award. All right, we're on our last one. Best Actress, Miniseries, TV Movie. Anya Taylor-Joy, The Queen's Gambit. Nicole Kidman, The Undoing. Shira Haas, Unorthodox. Kate Blanchett, Miss America. Daisy Edgar-Jones, Normal People. Dr. M. Sage, where are we with this
This is a good category.
Yeah,
Yes.
everybody's good.
This is a tough one. I think based on popularity, Anya Taylor-Joy will win this category. I think Shira Haas gave an amazing performance, and I would like to see her win, but my money would probably have to go on Taylor-Joy.
I'm going to have to agree. I think Anya Taylor-Joy will win, and she deserves it. There's no question.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
She was really, truly outstanding, and she deserves an award for that show. And it's gotten so much attention that it would be hard to ignore her performance. But Shira Haas is the best actress in this category. Now, Kate Blanchett was wonderful also in Mrs. America. But I think Shira Haas, I was just mesmerized by her performance. Again, it's not an easy show to watch, but
No, it isn't.
You can read every single emotion just by, she doesn't have to say a word, just by looking at her face. And she certainly deserves this award, but it's hard to say Anya Taylor-Joy doesn't deserve her an award for her role too. She was
fantastic. That was probably my favorite show of the year, The Queen's Gambit.
Yep.
Unorthodox, maybe a close second though.
Yeah.
And simply because Shira Haas was just so good. She just carried that whole show. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think this is Anya Taylor-Joy. Pretty easy. The Queen's Gambit, probably the best show on the year. So I think this is Anya Taylor-Joy's award pretty easily. I'd put my money on this one, and I'd look for the double up in Emma. Anya Taylor-Joy night here at the Golden Globes. All right, that's our Golden Globe picks of the week. Be sure to watch the Golden Globes Sunday night after listening to our podcast. That's our show, and we're out.